next one, Rod. And let's see how Michael van Gerwen gets on with his first competitive dart since that World Championship final. We just saw the number 3 seed, Peter Wright, dumped out of the competition by Wayne Jones and looking very out of sorts off the back of that World Championship final.
Yes, it was a very much out of sorts Peter Wright. I'm sure that won't affect his year. Possibly not the great preparation to go into the Premier League for next Thursday. But it will be interesting how Michael van Gerwen goes on in this first game. As you say, his first competitive game since lifting that crown. And let's not forget the £250,000 that he won for winning it.
Well, the nearest the ball finally being won by Leon de Geus to get us underway in this second round match. And plenty of Dutch in the crowd, and they'll be sure to get behind both players.
I mean, de Geus is probably relishing playing Michael. He's got nothing to lose. Just go up there, play his own game. Realistically, the bookies would have Michael van Gerwen at 1-20 on, probably 1-40 on. So de Geus just goes up and says, well, I've got nothing to lose, but I'm going to give it a real good go.
Yes, Kevin Painter and Terry Jenkins up next. The winner of that one playing the winner of this one tomorrow afternoon, and then we round off our second round action tonight with Paul Nicholson, the asset. Let's see if he can KO Stuart Kellett. So 19's the shot for 1-2-6.
Well, Michael might only get one dart at a double, so if de Geus, if he doesn't take this out, which he won't now, can just hit a treble, put some pressure on, which is exactly what he's done. So a bit of a pressure shot, but it will be to break the throw. That leaves double 12, and double 12 it is. And the pump, which has got to be so recognised in the Michael van Gerwen game now. The double-armed fist pump.
Great start to the second leg by de Geus with a maximum, the first of the match.
Well, just to let you know about the Premier League, Michael van Gerwen will be taking on the 16 times world champion Phil Taylor in the opening night in Liverpool, and what a game to start the Premier League off. It'll be interesting to see how Phil Taylor comes back. He's had nearly 3 weeks out in Portugal in preparation for the start of the Premier League. Michael van Gerwen, the only preparation he needs is just to keep playing darts. He just loves the game at the moment. You wake him up at 3 o'clock in the morning, he'll get up, throw darts for you. But what would your money be on, a Michael van Gerwen or a Taylor? Or, of course, we have the draw in the Premier League.
Well, there you go. Then I'm going to sit on the fence and say it'll be a draw. But yeah, sounds very nice. Some winter sunshine for Phil Taylor after his surprise exit to Michael Smith in the World Championships. But yes, quality right the way through the Premier League every night, every game, a top-notch game, with 10 players competing until we get to the relegation stage where the bottom two drop out before it all culminates in finals night at the O2 Arena in London. So double top then for Van Gerwen for 2-0, no messing, and certainly no rustiness after the World Championships for the 24-year-old.
Of the match, and at the start of the leg, and when people like Michael Van Gerwen start off a leg with a maximum, we automatically think of that elusive perfect leg. Oh, and look how perfect that is. Surely he can't miss. Oh, he threw it too quick, too confident. He had a little smile there, knowing he shouldn't have missed it. I had the privilege to commentate at the World Championship 2 years ago when he missed double 12 for the second 9-darter.
That was quite extraordinary.
And I was
one dart away from 2 perfect legs.
It was. I was doing the 3D, and I couldn't understand why the 3D screen looked a little bit blurred, and I didn't have 3D glasses on. They'd give me a pair of sunglasses, playing a bit of a trick on me, I think.
Well, I think putting sunglasses on Michael Van Gerwen might be the only way to stop him. Even then, he probably would still beat the vast majority of players the way he's playing at the moment. And we'll be back for double two to go 3-0 up with De Geus unable to finish back on 179.
Well, he should stay up there on the 20s. Well, that's a bad miss, because if Van Gerwen misses, he should have come back for 120. Oh, he hasn't missed. So he races into a 3-0 lead. And he's back in that treble 20. Another 180 second in consecutive legs. Perhaps we can have it this time, Mr. Van Gerwen.
Not to be this time.
Look at that first 9-dart average, 135 now. Overall average 107. That is what you call first 9-dart power scoring.
Yes, it looks like a man on a mission, does Mighty Mike. Wants to get the job done, get back to the hotel and prepare for either Kevin Painter or Terry Jenkins in round 3. And neither of those men will be walkovers either. Whichever one comes out on top, we'll find out a little bit later on. That's the next match on stage. And again, comfortably ahead of his fellow countryman is Van Gerwen here, wanting double 18 for a 4-0 lead when he returns.
Blimey, Mike, someone has actually hit the double 9.
I was just going to say, no problems with your dreaded double 9 there for Michael Van Gerwen.
Yes, a very good, solid performance here from the world champion. Well, that's what he had to do. And come off that world championship, it's so easy to think, well, I'll just flick him in. But he's got up there, and he's got up there very professional, conducting himself very well. You can see the focus. There's no messing around. There's no just flicking the darts everywhere. They are totally darts that have all been concentrated on, and credit to the game at the moment, I have to say.
Yes, earlier on the season we saw Adrian Lewis race to a 5-0 lead over Joey Polferman and then take his foot off the gas a little bit, and Polferman was able to win 3 legs, but Adrian Lewis did seal victory 6-3. But Van Gerwen will be keen to avoid any dramas in this game tonight. It was obvious that they're two good friends off stage with the way they greeted each other, and but once Ross Bray calls game on, there's no mercy shown, however close friends you are off the stage. So Shanghai on the 20s, a treble, a single and a double for 5-0, and to go within 1 leg of victory.
Well, a chance for De Geus to put a leg on the board. And finally wins a leg, 4 legs to 1. He trails Van Gerwen, and a good solid leg from De Geus. But it was only to hold the throw.
Yes, pleased with De Geus. Edging out Steve Maish, the Englishman, last night 6-5. Maish was 5-3 up in that match before the Dutchman came back to win. And at least he's avoided the ignominy, that's easy for me to say, of a whitewash against the new world champion.
Another 140 on the score sheet for Van Gerwen. Well, this is not bad from De Geus. He matches it. He's got a game on his hands here now, does Van Gerwen. I think De Geus is just relaxed a bit and starting to find that treble 20 more consistently. 55.
And he will be back for double 18 with Van Gerwen no outshot on 163. For 4-2 then. Van Gerwen not having it all his own way.
Well, you mentioned the Lewis Polferman match earlier on where 80 raced it with a 5-0 lead and then kind of took his foot off the pedal and let Polferman in, and that's kind of what's happened here. Van Gerwen's hit a little bit of a dull patch, and at the same time De Geus has hit a bit of a rich vein of form. First bit of frustration in Michael Van Gerwen's demeanour, and a chance for De Geus to really get some lead in this leg. He did throw first in this leg, but he gets about the 4-3. Make Michael start to think about the game a bit.
164 is an out shot for Van Gerwen. But won't happen now, and De Geus on 116, which would draw him to within one leg of his opponent. And then things would start to get interesting, but that drift into the single five, you can see what De Geus thinks about that. So a round ton then for Van Gerwen against the throw for 5-2. Yes, two double tops. Our view was obscured by the flight of the first dart, but no messing from Van Gerwen, and Michael just forgetting that it's his turn to throw first. Was going to go back and have a drink of water, I think, but with the throw here, only 60.
Well, a great first start from De Geus, but not followed up, and you can't do that against this man. And that's why, well, certainly why, the new crowned world champion, and certainly this year, I think Michael Van Gerwen will put a few more crowns, or a few more trophies in the trophy cabinet. Events nearly every weekend, from Pro Tours to these Euro Tours and up to the main TV events, and then obviously the three world titles, the World Championship, the World Match Play and the World Grand Prix. So an awful lot for Van Gerwen. Now, he took this out against Phil Taylor to actually win the Premier League, and he wants double 16. Unbelievable dance. As I mentioned, he takes it out against Phil Taylor to win the Premier League. He takes it out against De Geus to win 6 legs to 2. That's the way to finish a match. 2 bullseyes and double 16. Well, that game's finished, but coming up here, Kevin Payton and the Artists take over the ball, and Terry Jenkins, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes.